of power, positive thinking people. Yes, with Sir Rod and Lady Z. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about we. And God we trust.
And we do own the rights to this music. Is our
Hi.
Good evening, good evening.
Hey, it's Christy and Tiana, and
Yes.
welcome to our segment.
Hey, hey, hey.
What are we calling this segment? Is it Girl Talk?
It's going to be a girl talk. Yes, indeed. So, what's a good topic?
Well, I was thinking about self-esteem. What do you think?
Oh my gosh, I think that is a good topic. A good topic. Self esteem. And how many of us know how much self esteem that we have. You know, a lot of us do battle without self esteem. So, I think that's a good topic.
Well, that's awesome because I just so happen to have my good friend Lisa. She's a relationship coach, and she has a lot to say about this. She actually just coached me on something that happened to me, and it could have hurt me really bad at work because of my low self-esteem. It really affected my work. So, hey, Lisa, I would like to
Oh,
introduce
she's on the
you.
phone.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
here.
hey, Lisa.
Hello, ladies. How are you?
Good.
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
So, what do you think about self-esteem and as a coach? You know, what's your outlook on that?
Oh man, self-esteem is our whole being. I feel that a good part of us is our self-esteem. You know, when we have low self-esteem, it's something that we haven't dealt with, some pain that we haven't dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Um, so from there, I just wanted to just break the ice. I'm not ashamed to say, like, sometimes it's a struggle for me.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a little issue at work. I don't know if self-esteem ever, hinders you at work or in relationships.
So what would you say it was certain things you was dealing with that
Yeah.
relates to self-esteem?
Yeah, it was bad. Like my self-esteem was so messed up that I wasn't even focused at work. I was crying, I was in my feelings.
Yeah.
I was so much into me that I didn't actually do my job. I literally left work.
So what is certain things that you think that you was feeling that made you start to feel those emotions to want to leave or cry? Like, do you remember? If you
Yeah.
don't mind sharing, what was you
I
feeling?
don't mind. So I felt alienated because the people I usually eat lunch with for that day they didn't invite me to lunch.
Mm-hmm.
They actually ordered pizza,
Oh.
didn't invite me, and they usually eat in the cafeteria. But then this go around, they ate literally in front of me in the break room,
Mm.
and they didn't talk to me for that day. And what really made me feel bad is that I was warned if I talked to this one negative Nancy at our job, that you've been warned, don't talk to her.
Mm.
And I'm the kind of person, I'm like, don't talk to her? Okay, good. Talk to her. Because I don't believe in alienating anyone. I was always alienated. I was always picked on. I was always bullied. So I didn't feel like listening to them.
And since you said you always felt that way when they started doing that to you at work, that's why you feel it triggers something with your self esteem because it's
Yeah.
something. Okay, I've been through this again. Here go people doing this to me again, and it's like your self esteem is feeling that emotion again from
Yeah.
the past tense.
Yeah, and I'm a new hire.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you like trying to fit in because it's like, I'm trying to fit in because I'm not even my 90 days. And if you need help, you need to fit in because people will watch you fail.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling like, well, if they're doing all this to hurt me, which that was just my illusion, that was what I was thinking. then they're not going to help me. And then I started getting in my feelings. Everything started snowballing. Then I'm going to fail at work. And then, everything's just going to be messed up. And then I might lose my job.
Yeah.
So everything's all because of my self-esteem. All of a sudden, in my mind, I had myself fired.
It's like, I feel it's human to feel that way. We want others to like us, be accepted, but when those type of situations happen, you're gonna feel how you feel. But then I say to myself, I don't want to be really associated or friends with anybody that's gonna treat me like that anyway. And it's
True.
funny how they told you not to talk to somebody because they feel how they feel, and you did it anyway, and now they're doing that to you.
Yeah.
They was already saying that to you not to talk to the young lady at work because they was already treating her that way. And then because you decided to talk to her, they just did the same. Once I see that pattern, I don't want to be your friend anyway, because it just shows, how you gonna think you could just push me to the side, and so I don't really want to be associated with somebody like that. But
Yeah.
I just say, wow, okay, maybe I needed to see that, and that's how you see people for who they really are.
Yeah.
And then you just move accordingly how you want to move around them.
That's true. So, Lisa,
Yes.
do any of your clients ever deal with like self-esteem issues, or have you coached anybody?
I have. I usually, that's an emotion. So I heard you say that it was a snowball effect and you felt alienated. And that's normal, but you gave into, I feel that you gave into your feelings. Um, what was happening at that moment for you to feel alienated? Do you know?
What was happening? Well, besides them enjoying themselves eating and I was working, uh, emotionally, what was happening was basically I kept just basically negative conversation in my head. Basically from when I was little, and I don't know. I just felt uncomfortable, and it made me feel like I couldn't trust them anymore. And it made me feel like if I can't trust them, those were the core people of the job. Like, who we are a team. I felt like I couldn't make it without them. So if they're the ones that are like turning on me, how am I going to grow and learn my job? Because these are the same people that like get praise from the managers. These are the star people in our department. So the boss never knows, like, they talk bad about each other and that they do these things. So I was just really concerned about my future and in my position and my learning.
Or did you want to just somebody to check on you and say, hey, you've been working so hard. Would you like to come eat with us? Like just did you feel left out in
I
that
felt
moment?
left
And
out.
you're just
And
working, and nobody asked me if I would like to eat.
Yeah, and then I
Yeah.
still would have been in my feelings because it would have been
Oh,
an
yeah.
afterthought. Because it's like, if you really wanted me to join you, you would have asked me, did you want to order pizza?
Yeah.
So yeah, I still would have been in my feelings. I don't like to be alienated.
So
And
let me ask you, if I can, what was happening at that present time? Were you going to eat by yourself, or was your whole intention to eat with these group of people?
every day we eat together. So my intentions were, when it was time, we usually ask, what time is good for you to eat lunch? So that didn't happen.
Okay.
So I kept working, thinking like eventually we were gonna go take a break and go to the cafeteria. So I just so happens I look up and they're already eating in the break room, which they never do.
Did you ask them, was something wrong?
No, I did not.
Um,
Because they're gonna be fake about it. Because this lady, she's so fake. I just don't even want to. I didn't even want to deal with
There's a lot
it.
of that on the job.
Yeah, because she'll be like acting like she's helping me, and then she'll be like rolling her eyes and talking like next day, like when people aren't around, she'll be smart mouth with me. Like yesterday, she was like, "Hi, hi, hi," and I was like, she has this thing about you must say hello when you come in. That's her self-esteem issue. I don't need to say hello to anybody. I come into work, and I hate to be mean, but if I don't say hi to you, it doesn't mean that I'm disrespecting you. It's just I'm new to my position, and I have a long list of things I have to do. And she's the one who told me don't talk to anybody when I get there. She says you talk when your work is done. And plus, she was talking to somebody else about the OR and things that need to be done with the OR. So why am I going to say hi to her when she's taking care of things for the OR? Why am I going to interrupt that conversation?
Yeah.
So later, I pulled her aside and I said hello, and I said, "Isn't this more intimate, where we're talking and you're not talking to somebody else?" And I just kind of called her out on it, like, I'll talk to you when you're not talking to someone else.
Okay, well, okay. The thoughts of other people are not our responsibility, but we need to have the ability to speak up. So when you spoke up at that moment, did you get a concrete answer from her
About
about what the problem was, or why everybody didn't join together like they usually do to
yeah,
eat?
I'm not gonna talk to her about that. I mean, yeah, it happened on Friday and today's Tuesday, and I
Is
don't
she
know.
a
With me, I never.
superior?
No, she's just like the apple of the eye. Department like loves her.
So could it be that you creating this in your head? How would you know her response if you didn't go and ask? What would it
That's
look
true.
like to you at that moment if you went to her and asked those questions?
Oh, she would have been fake answer. Oh, you could have just came and said something. I would have shared my pizza with you.
Or do you
And
do you
you
think all
wouldn't
the
have felt
time?
comfortable
Oh,
with
sorry.
that? Would you think that she was lying?
Oh yeah, she would have been like that. Yeah, because she's already told me one time to mind my business and all this stuff. So when she was like talking, I thought she was just having an open conversation. She's just two faced it. So
Yeah.
So let me ask
I
you
don't
this
know.
if I can. How did all that make you feel about yourself?
Um, it made me feel bad because I actually left work feeling worthless, and even the next day I was really really upset. Like I started blaming like my bipolar and everything else. Like, oh, you're just in your feelings because of your bipolar. It's just you're being emotional because of this and that, and then I started feeling overwhelmed. Like my emotions were so big that it just I was at the point where I couldn't perform my duties at work because then my anxiety started kicking in. I don't know if that's ever happened to you or anybody
Oh
else.
yeah.
It's like you just get into the story you're telling yourself, and I guess that's what happened. And then
Got
I'm
it.
just like in a hole, and then my anxiety kicks in, and then it's just a hot mess, all because of self-esteem.
Have you accepted your your conditions and how you need to take care of yourself? Have you fully accepted that?
Yes.
And are you doing the things that you need to do? Are you taking full responsibility? Um,
No. No, not at this time. I've fixed it since then because you've coached me and I've coached myself. So everything will be back on track by the end of this month.
that's good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you
Yeah.
do when you have anxiety? I mean, I don't know if you get anxiety,
I
but
do. I do sometimes.
Tiana,
And
she's gonna talk to us about anxiety.
okay,
Okay.
so how I deal with my anxiety, um, and I don't even know if someone told me. I just know when I get hot or really start to feel overwhelmed, I start to breathe. I just really start inhaling and exhaling, and then I feel myself start to just calm down a little bit. Um, I might, go take a walk if it's, reasonable hours and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, I'll go take a walk, talk to somebody I trust. But I definitely catch myself in moments of having anxiety attacks. So that's why I said I really try to breathe and sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I remember I had an episode before where I felt like I was about to run out of breath
Mm-hmm.
and fall out. So that's why I always recommend trying to breathe in, sitting down. If I have some water, I'll definitely drink some water. Um, and I just try to, and I do talk to myself. I try to just calm myself down. I'll ask God to help me just calm myself down. But
Mm-hmm.
I try to do something positive after all of those emotions start to just start coming at me. So
Like, what does the conversation look like if you were like if you were coaching yourself through the moment, like how do you do that?
And I'm smiling because it's amazing when you have your own journey. And I realized that I have to become really my best friend, because when you feel like you can't talk to everybody, or just go too deep about everything you feel because you feel they might not understand, or I don't know, it might make you feel like crazy. I don't know. I just tell my inner self, like, just calm down, relax, like everything is going to be okay. And a lot of like affirmations and stuff. I really just, even if I don't believe it, I just keep telling myself that, because at that moment I need to hear it. And I look at it like, if you was talking to a friend, when my friends are coming to me and they feeling sad, that's what I do to them. I try to encourage them. I try to, show that love and support. And I just said I have to do the same myself, because my inner self told me that. You can't keep saying this to people and you're not doing that for yourself. Don't forget about me, you, us, So that's what I do, you know.
That's deep. That's
Yeah.
deep.
And it's not easy all the time. But I feel like it's just a journey you have to have with yourself through the day you're just living until you die, for it, because it don't matter what age you are, you have to carry that. And the older I get, the more I see how much I'm loving myself more, because I remember how I was when just younger and stuff. I wouldn't even have those conversations with myself. I just you know push it under the rug, wouldn't even face it, but now I can open up and have those conversations with myself and others, and I just try to continue to do that throughout my days.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
That's
process.
it. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's good that you know now to have that conversation with yourself.
I like to do that. You have to at some point face it, but I tell people that's when you're ready to. I didn't know when I was. I didn't know how old I was gonna be. I didn't know the year. I just continued to just find that inner self help and love for myself. And I'm still working on that. But I know I came far, with it. So yeah, it definitely works.
Yeah. It's a good point that how like self-esteem, mental health, mental growth,
Mhm.
it's all a
Yeah,
journey.
and it's all of it. Mhm.
Yeah.
Self esteem.
Yeah. Me too.
So what about in relationships? Do you feel like self esteem is really important?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel that's why a lot of people tolerate certain things, because they are, most of us are dealing with self esteem. So you probably didn't figure out your full potential and worth yet. And so you feel this is what I deserve. And because you don't really know your self esteem. When you really truly know your self esteem, it's just certain things you will not tolerate. You're not going to allow, because you don't deserve that, So, but everybody had their journey when they figuring that
Yeah.
out.
Mine was a long journey, and I just started to figure out like my value and my worth. Um, I don't know if it was prior to my divorce or after my divorce, my last divorce, but it seems like it's coming in like waves as I get older. Like my self esteem
And what you mean by waves? Like it's like in and out, just coming
is like
here and
when I
go.
was like what I expected for myself and my to keep my self esteem was like it took a certain level and I was okay. As I'm getting older, I'll be like, no, I want more.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm at this level now. This is what it's going to take for me to maintain great self esteem in relationships with men, women, bosses, everything.
All
Hey, you
right.
guys, we would like to call in. I would like to know about you. How do you feel about self esteem,
Yes.
relationships? Our phone number is 703 752 6120. 703 752 6120. We do have a life coach on the line. If you want to be coached through something, here's your time live. Just get a free session in. And
Yes.
we would like to know some things. What do you think about self esteem? What is the story you've been telling yourself? Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I would have got rid of this story, like my self esteem and everything would have been okay.
Yeah, like what did
Um,
it take for you to realize, your self esteem worth?
yeah,
You
your
know.
value.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and here's a good point.
Relationships, you know what? In relationships, that's normally how most people do end up finding out. Because you're seeing how somebody's treating you. Because, like I said, most of us don't pay attention to how we treat ourselves. It's always we're looking at others.
Mm-hmm.
So um, I know for me, like I said, I wasn't paying attention to myself, and then, when I had certain friendships and relationships, and I just was like, oh, no, 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 Tiana, you're being too nice. You're allowing too much.
Mm-hmm.
You're being too available. And I had to realize saying no and saying I'm spending time with myself, or I have to take care of things for myself is okay. And if a friend or family member or somebody I'm in a relationship with don't understand that, then I'm sorry, not sorry, but
Yeah.
I know my worth, and I know when I need time for myself, and that matters to me. And I tell people, your time to yourself matters too. You need that time for yourself, and then you make time for others as
Yeah.
well. And that's a self esteem that you know that's worthy of yourself.
Like filling your cup
Hmm.
back up.
Yeah, I'm gonna make time for you, but I have to make time for myself as well. And I feel a real friend or somebody who really loves me will understand that. You know,
And
it's
that is a good point because you said your friends were watching you, right?
yeah.
So that's a good point because I had somebody tell me, based on how I was treating myself, because I had
Hmm.
low self esteem, this person came up to me and said, I'm going to smash your head in and
What?
treat you just like you let those dudes treat you.
Oh no.
And that was a wake up point too on
Mhm.
how I want to treat myself and how I feel about myself. And that was a light bulb moment that I need to check myself and how I love
Yeah.
myself. And that goes back to self esteem and
You're right.
self worth and
Mhm.
value. It took me like a year to figure out my journey on that in healing,
Yeah.
but I will never forget that day. The lower I feel about myself, people are watching that. And that's how they're going to treat me. They're going to literally be like, she don't care about herself. Why should I?
Mhm. And then growing up, I like I said, I dealt with self-esteem, but I have a mother that also helped me with that. She just will always speak encouraging words with me, always uplift me. Still to this day, and I'm 30. Every day she just say, "Have a good day. Don't worry yourself out." And I just love that because it helps part of my self-esteem. So when you had that good support, they're gonna want to they want you to be uplifted. They
Yeah.
want your self-esteem to be just in a good state, so having that good support is definitely important because when you have people that have that self-esteem that's good, they're
Hmm.
gonna make sure that you're good as well too. But when you have people that don't know their self-esteem, that is normally the ones that treat us bad because they still didn't really know their worth. Because when you're treating yourself good, you shouldn't want to be treating others bad. You should want others to be treated good as well. So that's what I say. A lot of us have to do that self work with ourselves so we'll know how to treat each other. You know.
Okay. Catch 22 or
Mhm.
devil's advocate. What about the women who have high self esteem?
Oh
What's
yeah.
up with other people hating other people just because they feel good about themselves? Like, why do other people think that they have the right to just bring that person down or to
Mm.
walk on them or to talk about them just because they're happy or who they are? You don't know where they started from. You don't
Yeah.
know if they started from low self esteem, if they were suicidal. Now they're confident. They worked hard to shift on who they are and create
Mhm.
themselves.
Yeah.
Like,
It's so funny because see when I was younger I was so quiet and that's when I dealt with low self-esteem the worst. Nobody didn't bother me then. It was like it was cool, but the moment I realized I started just speaking my mind more, expressing myself and loving myself more, people, I have people that love it and stuff, and then there's some I do see that jealousy as well, and I just say they don't know how far I came. I'm not a conceited person, but I do have my times when I look in the mirror and I'm like, wow, like I look really good, and I could be fully natural and all of that, like, and I remember not feeling like that, and I'm
yeah,
not gonna let nobody take that away from me, like. So it's
yes,
times I'm posting and sometimes I be having in the back of my mind, oh, people probably like all she do is like be posting herself loud or be thinking she all of that. But I be like, yep, I sure do, like because I
that's
know
right.
I know how I used to make myself feel bad, so I call it I'm gonna be flexing, I'm gonna have my
Yeah,
moments when I flex. So I have my times, and I do that, and other young ladies they look up to that, and it makes them want to post themselves and feel good. So I just try to focus on that, and I love it. I love it. And some are older than me, some are younger, some the same age, but I love that I can make other women feel good about themselves. Even the times I went in clubs, they want to party with me, dance with me because they see me having fun and all that. But that
You're
makes me feel
happy.
good.
Yeah. That's, you know what?
Because I don't want nobody to feel like how I was feeling, you know.
And there's nothing, for me, I think there's nothing more sexy on a woman than confidence.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if you feel confident, you love yourself, high self esteem, I don't care what
Mhm.
you got on, what you doing, what you look like. To me, you sexy. When you have
Yes.
that confidence, not
Mhm.
snooty, confidence. It's
Yes.
beautiful.
You know, I want to speak on that too, if I can. That you're very right, Christy, because if you're confident, that will attract confidence.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then people will treat you like the other young lady said. People will treat you the way you treat yourself. You will then be setting boundaries.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, and you know what not to accept from anybody else.
Right.
Absolutely. Hey, Lisa, hold on. We got a caller that we can include in the talk, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Did I do it right?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Paul
Where's
and
Rodney?
Colin. You see how I say two? I
I
want to.
do not know how to do this. And I hung
You
up
see
on
that little
her.
green? Oh. Yeah.
Hello, welcome to People to People.
See if that green button up top. What that do?
Welcome to People to People.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, I wanted to know if you guys had any tips on dealing with self-esteem.
Yes. Could you give us some more scenarios? What information would you like?
Just anything to help anyone out there just build self-esteem.
Oh, steps on how to build self esteem.
Yes.
Sure.
Um, I would say definitely try to pay closely attention to how your inner self is feeling. And I call it just being in tune and aware of yourself. Pay attention to certain emotions so that way when you're feeling, when certain situations happen, you can kind of catch it at that moment to say, okay, I notice when this person is doing certain things, or when I go somewhere, it's making me feel this way. And then you got to kind of coach yourself through it. Like I said, it's going to be a process. Also, do a lot of reading up informations. I used to do that a lot, watching like even videos on YouTube of how to love yourself better. You know, how do you realize your self-esteem worth? When you look it up, it's going to tell you certain signs. And that's when I started saying, wow, I notice I be feeling like this when I have low self-esteem. I
There
look
were
up
some
high
signs.
self-esteem. Oh, yeah.
What were the signs?
Um, okay, so I didn't really like to make too much eye contact with certain people. That's a part of low self-esteem. Holding your head down a lot is a part of low self-esteem. Whenever you kind of come into a room and you feel intimidated a lot because you feel like maybe others are doing better than you, that's normally a low self-esteem. Because you have some people where they could be in a place where they not where they want to be, but got some high self-esteem where you wouldn't even imagine like this where you didn't came from, you know. But so it just depends on the individual. But I mean, those are a little bit of signs and stuff. I know I used to experience and what I looked up. But um, yes. Oh,
Excuse me, ladies. How you doing?
good. How are
Hi.
you?
I'm sitting here with my daughter, and we were watching a program,
Oh.
and she deals with a problem with low self-esteem in school with her friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I was asking her to ask what were tips that she could do to make her feel comfortable among her friends, or should she just ignore them?
Well, the first thing I would do, well, you can try to ignore, but as I know, it's hard to ignore, especially at that age, because you just really want to be liked, and it hurts when your friends ignore you. I mean, when they turn on you. But I would do everything you can that makes you happy. So once you're focused on yourself and your happiness, it kind of like takes over the conversation of self-esteem, because instead of you having that conversation, you're already in the process of healing and uplifting yourself. So if you just get involved in like track things that you're good at that you enjoy, things that you know that can boost you, not, if you're not good at running the 24K, I wouldn't advise you, but you like track, I wouldn't advise you to go sign up for that. If you're good at high jump and you love track, then go do that. If you like band or music, ask your parents to buy you a clarinet or get involved in the school band. And if you like
Mm-hmm.
photography, let that be on your Christmas list, or next year sign up for photography, because that's another way. If you're happy and doing things that you love, you're already focused on your happiness. And once you're happy, your self esteem goes up without you even thinking or focusing on it.
That's what I was trying to tell my daughter, for her not to pay attention to the other children, for her to be able to be herself. But she was explaining to me that it's not easy. And as a parent, I try to teach her to believe in herself.
And these are her friends, or these are just, other kids at the school?
These are, we're new to the area, and she's trying to fit in, and I noticed that her self-esteem had gone down. I just happened to walk in, and I was listening to her listen to your program, and I was concerned because I know that she has been dealing with this situation.
Yeah. It sounds like she might be trying to fit in, and she want to be accepted, and they might not be receiving that. So now it's making her feel like nobody likes me in this new area. Um, that is a hard thing. I Yeah, it is a hard thing. But I wouldn't recommend trying to fit in. I would recommend continuing to be who you are, like what you like. Um, that's what I would tell her. Just continue to be yourself. If you feel like what you like that the other girls or guys are not gonna like, then like they just not meant to be your friend, and those are signs that you want to see, because people are going to be like that even in the adult world. And you just want to always be true to yourself. And a real friend will see that before you even be friends. They will see you for who you really are, and you won't have to try to fit in or try to be accepted or try to buy their love. Like, no, it will come to you. If she want to join certain academics or something, like I said, she do join something that she like to do, and that way you're in a setting with other people that like what you like. But sometimes when we try to go out and find it ourselves, you're going to find those type of situations, especially for the younger kids, because a lot of them like to judge a lot and challenge each other. So I just would tell her, give it some time, because normally in the beginning that is how it is. And just find out what she like to do, and maybe join those type of activities that they have at school, so that way she be in an environment at least with other kids that like to do what she like to do. And then conversation, and, oh, what are you doing after school, or, can we exchange numbers? And later on, just she has to let that flow. You should never want to feel like you have to do too much to get anybody's attention. But I understand she's still young, so this is a learning process. So that's what I would tell her, though.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you
Bye.
for calling.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was
That was
good.
really
I
good.
remember that age. Do you remember that age?
Yeah.
I was real nerdy.
See,
How
I
about you?
I was the type of child where I stayed to myself. I stayed to myself.
Introvert.
Oh yeah, I stayed to myself, and like I said, it was bad for me. I didn't try to fit in, because my self-esteem was so low that I felt like if I tried, I still probably wouldn't be accepted. So I didn't even give it a try, because my mind was so messed up that it would be like, no, they're not gonna like you, or they're gonna think this and that. But I still had people that would come and talk to me at the same time. But because I was so quiet, people still forgot about me. They just thought, oh, she's quiet, and But really, I was dealing with low self-esteem. I was too shy to open up to other people, and I cared too much what other people thought about me. So, but nobody thought that. They just thought, oh, that's T. She quiet like that, and but that was true. But I also was very shy and intimidated, and I compare myself a lot.
Yeah. Um,
Yes.
I did. I went through that. Hey, the line's not busy if you're still listening, Coach Lisa. Sorry that we hung up on you. Please
Yes, call back.
call back, okay? The line is open.
Yeah.
All right. So I remember, um,
Feeling like that as well.
yeah. So what happened was I used to get bullied a lot. I used to get beat up a lot. I used to have to fight, fight, fight. So finally, actually, I had really low self-esteem, and finally in sixth grade or fifth grade, I got so tired. Her name is Jessica Dos Santos. I would never forget it. Every day she said she was gonna beat me up. I finally got so tired of it. I was like, let's do it. I was like, fun. I was like,
Yeah.
are you coming? Let's go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, basically, like, wanted to hold her hands, like, let's go now. And she was like, okay, I'm not gonna fight you. And from that day on, from like sixth grade or fifth grade, whatever, I think it was fifth grade.
Yeah.
She was my best friend all the way through high school. And even though I was nerdy, I didn't fit in with anybody. Like, basically, we had the back road, which was the cool girls. Those are girls that grew up fast. Those are the ones who were able to get into clubs without being carded and everything like that. So they just like, took me under their wings. They accepted me that I was different. They never pushed me to be part of them and to have sex and smoke cigarettes and all that. They were like, no, Christy's different.
Yeah.
And I was really blessed to have a group of girls that I could sometimes hang out with. We did. We went to this place called Zach's.
Yeah.
It was an underage club. So we did get to go to some things together. But then other things they respected me not to include me in. So it's really nice when you
That's
just...
funny too.
Yeah.
Y'all had to fight through, and then y'all got close. Like
We were
that.
friends. Jessica Dos Santos. I would never forget her.
That's like my god sister. I interviewed her a few months ago here, but I didn't really go through being picked on. But like I said, I was so quiet. My god sister Nikki, she just accepted that but it was so weird because she also knew how to get me out of my character, bring me out of my shell as well. Because she'll be like, oh, let's go try for the cheerleading squad. I was like, I don't know. She's like, come on, it'll be fun. We could do it together. And I was like, all right. Then the same with dance, modeling. We did a couple of, business together. So it's really amazing how, you can meet somebody that will, accept you for who you are. And even how we was talking about self-esteem, she hosts me with that as well. So it's funny how we became like childhood friends because we known each other since we were 6 years old. And still good friends, and she still like mentors me as well, and still like can bring me out of my shell. Like it's so funny, but it's a good childhood friend that I'm just so appreciative for.
So how is it dating somebody and having like a low self-esteem or a poor outlook on yourself? How is that dating? Like being in a real relationship and seeing that person like...
Yeah, I feel like now it's to the point I know more of my self-esteem that I don't tolerate a lot of stuff. I'm like, no. But I had to learn. I'll say one thing I had to learn, and I still don't tolerate, don't call my phone late at night, So I had to learn that because I had, school or work. And but when you have low self-esteem, you're going to accept that. So now they think they can call you anytime of the night. Oh, no. So I had to learn, and now it's to the point I don't go through that because I set that tone, but I had to learn that through self-esteem, low self-esteem.
Okay.
Now it's higher. I don't know. I have work, so I have to go to bed. I don't know. And I notice I don't go through that now.
So that means basically you're confident enough, like your self-esteem it's not, your low self-esteem is not saying, oh, I got to answer this call, or this guy's not going to be into me anymore.
Nope. And I remember
okay
I
with
used to
that.
feel so bad, like, oh, let me call, let me answer, but it's no. I definitely put myself first more, and it's about that respect. And I feel like when you have low self-esteem, that right there is when you're going to start allowing people to disrespect you. That's where it starts. Because when you have high self-esteem, you're not tolerating no disrespect. And you don't have to be nasty about it. You just shutting it down and letting it be known what you ain't going to be tolerating. That's self-worth. A low self-esteem person ain't going to be like, well, maybe you don't mean it like that, or maybe she don't mean it. No. They letting it be known right then and there, and that's your test if you're going to allow that or not. So our self-esteem will always be tested, you know, but it depends on how low or how high your self-esteem is, what you're going to tolerate.
Mm.
And it's always your call, you know. And I just, you have to know that. You have to pay attention to those things, and you can learn it a lot through other people or what you allow them to do.
I think that was part of my problem being married.
No, yeah.
Because my husband met me, I had very, very low self esteem.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes in with the hero syndrome,
Yeah.
and he comes to save the day. And because I had low self esteem, he, I guess, felt like he could just come in and just mold my world anyway because I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah.
So he did everything for me. He served me in bed, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, cooked me whatever. Everybody's like, "Oh, that's so cute." No, it's not, because it's a sign of controlling.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. It was like he brought all the groceries. Even if I'm with him, I never had to push the cart. I never had to put the food away. I never had to wash my clothes. I can go to keep him company. I never had to touch it.
So he's doing all of that, but what was the things that bother your self-esteem?
Um, well, first of all, he wouldn't let me do anything for him, so I felt like I wasn't good enough.
Okay. Yeah.
He wouldn't even let me wash his clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not even good enough to wash your clothes. I didn't feel like the princess. I felt like, basically, like I'm a woman that's incapable.
So was it like you just had to sit there and let him take care of everything?
Hmm.
And was it like
All 3 marriages. It's so weird.
so you couldn't voice how you feel, or you couldn't express doing something, maybe setting up or doing something nice for them? And
If I voice, like, I want to go to school, like anything I want to do to, like, we gave the other young caller, do something you like to do so it'll help you feel better about yourself. He would shut it down.
that's right there to me is them going through a self-esteem thing, because you have people where they don't want you to go to school, or you want to do something, and they think in their mind you're going to fly off and forget about them. That's low
Yeah.
self-esteem. If you know that your woman just want to do something that makes her feel good, why not support that? Why would you know? You have to. They have to open up and express that. Why they feel uncomfortable with you going out doing something that you like to do.
And I think that's what happened. It's
But
more,
it made you feel so bad that all you could think about is how you was feeling.
yeah.
And it's because it's a hard thing. But sometimes when I'm being treated like that, I try to ask. I would ask that guy, like, well, what is it about? If I'm doing something different, how did that make you feel? Do you think I'm gonna forget about you? Do you think I'm enjoy this so much that I'm not paying attention to our marriage no more? Do you think I'm gonna meet somebody new? You know, I try to see what is it about that. Why is that triggering someone? You like, oh no, no, no.
Right.
When this is just something I love to do. You know, you doing what you always wanted to do. Why is it that I can't?
And that's the conversation I have now in my current relationship. That's a good point, because that's what I'm doing now, because when I started to grow and get independent and I started getting my mind clear,
Yeah.
like he could see that he couldn't manipulate me anymore, and my mind was getting clearer, my confidence was going up.
Yeah.
The more he got squirmish and uncomfortable, to the point where finally he just flat out asked for a divorce. So you were right, he was uncomfortable, and it's not that I was going to fly away, but he pushed me before he could know.
And then it's also control. Sometimes certain people don't care if it's something that make you happy, or they just thinking about they don't have something to control anymore.
Yeah.
So it could be a lot of things, but it still falls back with low self-esteem, because
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to feel like you got to control something for it to stay. So a lot of people is dealing with this low self-esteem, and they use other things like control to back it up, or let me just buy this and do this. And it just requires more than that. You know, I'd always recommend men to express how they feel. You know, if something is bothering you, so that way then we can see, well, that's when you can, like, at least you could have talked to him about it. Like, no, I would still make time for you. I just want to go to school and do what I always love to do. That don't mean I'm gonna forget about you. You know, so
That's a good
people
point.
don't really voice enough how they feel. And I tell people, you don't have to be nasty about it. Just if that make you feel some type of way, say that, so we can figure out the problem and solution.
And be
You know?
together, work it out together. Like,
Yes.
I could
You're
still
gonna
grow,
feel-
you can still be okay.
We're gonna feel how we feel. Sometimes you're gonna get jealous. You're gonna feel that low self-esteem. You're gonna get mad. But it's about, can y'all two work that out together? Because you can't run away all the time from your emotions. They're going to come and go. but it's about, expressing them to release them, and then how can we move along with it.
Very good advice.
And you always got to acknowledge it. Yeah.
That's,
But
yeah.
it's a hard thing for a lot of people to do. It's just sad because instead of us expressing ourselves, we rather just give up. You know.
It's so much easier sometimes.
Mhm.
It gets
Yeah.
tiring when
Yeah.
you like have low self-esteem, when I have low self-esteem, and then I'm doing all I can to get my confidence up, and then somebody comes to smush it and bash it down and tear it to pieces, and then I have to work it back up again. It's so hard to figure out who to trust in relationships, you know?
I was just talking to a friend. See, when you get in a relationship, you got all these feelings, and that's nice, but I've talked to a person enough and share what you're feeling and your thoughts and see how they reacting to that. Because I always tell somebody, if you expressing yourself and telling how you feel and they keep acting funny,
Mm-hmm.
that's a sign right there. I don't want us to keep moving forward if every time I'm trying to express myself, oh, you want to talk again about it, or that's a problem for me.
It is
Because
a
I'm like,
problem.
well, what do you expect I'm gonna be doing? I'm sorry, I express myself, but
I have a
yeah,
question for you.
it's hard. Okay.
I've been trying to answer this question since this morning.
All right.
What is the difference between ego and high self-esteem? I don't know.
Um. Okay. High self-esteem.
If you're just
I feel like a high self-esteem person, it's just really high. Like they like. Okay, like people like our restaurants. Certain people they like. Oh no, I'm not going to that restaurant. I want to go to like a 5-star restaurant. That's some high. They like they know they like nice stuff. That's that high self-esteem talking.
Uh-huh.
And not to say if you going somewhere that's kind of cheap, mean you got low self-esteem, but it's some people that they never know. It has to always be a 5-star. That's their esteem is that high. They ain't trying to go to nothing that's
they don't
lower
do
to
McDonald's.
that. Yeah,
No McDonald's
I look
for them.
at yeah.
Okay.
But ego, I feel is more of a like more arrogant. All right, the ego could be people I feel that only date certain people because what they have. Like that's an ego thing. You're not even your inner self is not even trying to get to know who that person is. That's that ego that you just want somebody to look good right beside you, and they could be somebody that's about to treat you like so it's like that's great. I feel like that's a little ego thing. Or just I don't know, you just thinking you too good for it. Like you just it's going way beyond high self-esteem. Like you don't look at yourself as like you just I don't know, I'm trying to think of the words, but with ego I feel like that's more of a nastier, stubborn type of personality trait coming in. What they just
Personality trait,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like for example, like I had a friend that I was dating actually for a long time, all through high school, and I asked him to marry me, and he wouldn't. And I never could figure it out. He's like, you got to go to school first. Another opportunity. We're older, probably 20 something. Another opportunity. We should be together. No, no, no. And then he marries like this one lady that has money. She's like an accountant. That marriage didn't work out again. So like you're
See?
saying, he wanted that money.
Yeah, I feel like
He
that's
wanted-
because his ego is like that with himself, that they want that same thing.
He didn't want a good girl, the girl next door. I never would have caused some problems. We've known each other since we were little, but he just wanted that accountant.
Just
and
like
their
and also
family had money.
Oh yep.
Then he
That's
tries
another
it
thing.
again. Like I'm like, we both are at a point where we could date again. Nope, turns me down, marries a lawyer. And now they're on the brink, divorce or not to divorce.
Yep.
It's like you're marrying, like your ego is so high, like you just feel like you're above me. When there's nothing wrong with us, we get along perfectly. The only thing is different is my statue. Like if I had like $1 million, I don't know, $1 billion worth company, then you would be interested maybe.
Yep.
That's ego.
And see, that's what people with them egos, they let it get in the way too much because they won't even admit if they wrong or not. That ego be so in the way. It's just so much about them and what they want, No. Yeah. So do you feel
So
like
they look confident, but they're
Yeah.
Greedy.
Yeah. Because even somebody with a strong ego can still have low self-esteem, but their ego is so strong it can hide it.
Ah.
Yeah. You got the hiders with the low self-esteem. I had to learn how to pretend sometimes. You know, so you got people that do that as well. So
Damn.
yeah. And with most men, with low self-esteem is a sign of weakness. So you have to use something to cover it up because most
Oh, and that's
men
the ego.
don't want to show their low self-esteem.
And then they get that swagger
And normally for them it
fill
shows
it
when they
in.
mad, upset, So,
Yeah. Oh,
but
that's
other than
good.
that, they can still probably that ego, like I said again, can kick in where they can't express that low self-esteem because the ego like, oh no, we don't have no low self-esteem. She don't know what she talking about. Don't let her tell you that. No, we too tough for that. That's that ego talking.
Mm.
So.
And then they end up hurting us. Wow.
Yes. And then I feel like high self-esteem is a person that can, they just can admit when they have those low self-esteem moments. Because like I said, sometimes we're going to go through things in life where it do, like certain people that was always fit, but they got older and started gaining weight. It started bothering their self-esteem when they probably never felt like that because they knew how good they always was looking. But now they're in a situation, it's like, dang, I'm not used to this. It's bothering their self-esteem now. But you can do something about it, and then it brings your self-esteem back up. Or you can say, you know what, I done gained some weight, but I'm still looking good.
That's
me,
me,
man.
man.
Self-esteem.
You see the stomach,
like,
here?
Shoot.
I love my body.
I sure do eat good. Yes, indeed.
It took me a while because I was fit. Military, and then, man, I used to go to the gym for 3 or 4 hours, and I look back at my 2018 pictures.
Yep.
Oh, my God. And I was working out so good. And now I don't want to work out. To be honest, y'all, I don't want to work out.
See,
I just don't.
Okay. As long as like, you feel okay about that, that's
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I love my body.
You said you don't
feel
good.
Oh,
you do?
I'm not ashamed to show it. I'm okay with it. You see how it's yeah, and it takes a while to get that self-esteem and to be confident.
And that way, when somebody say something you like, you're not gonna make you feel bad because you already accepted it.
I accept
so it's like,
it.
Look, I say myself is fat and all feeling bad, not you.
Right. Still look cute and be proud of who you are.
Definitely.
It was a long journey to get to that point. It didn't happen yesterday. It's definitely a lot of talking to myself.
This was a good conversation, though. I really, really enjoyed it.
Me too. This is our first time sitting here talking.
Yes. We will always be. We'll be like in the hallway talking about it, or getting ready before the show talking. And now look at us.
Yep. Now Tiana and I are going to be here every Wednesday. You can guarantee it for Girl Talk. You never know what we're going to talk about. Now, families, we're going to get real. So there may be times we're going to tell you to please take your babies out. Or if you have teenagers, to sit with them, because definitely it's something that we may talk about that needs to be talked about. So it would be beneficial to sit with your children, but if you feel like they need to leave the room, that's fine. We're going to tell you, because there's conversations that never get spoke about. Like, they don't speak about it. We're going to speak about it.
We are.
We're going to be honest. We're not scared to show our feelings or to talk about what we go through. Right, Tiana? Are you concerned?
Nope, none at all.
You want to help people?
I want to help.
Make a difference?
You
going to share your story?
I'm going to share.
I'm going to share. So all those people who later tell me, Christy, you shouldn't tell too much of your business. Well, guess what? God gave me this gift, and I've been talking since I was born. Everybody done told me, Christy, shut the hell up. Christy's not shutting up, okay?
No.
I made my family feel uncomfortable, and guess what? Y'all may feel uncomfortable, but then something's going to happen where a neighbor's going to come to you, a family member, or even your own child.
Yes.
Let me tell you, you're going to be like, oh, Tiana and Christy just talked about that. I think I have something that can help them. Or it's not that conversation is not going to be so squirmish when your 10-year-old comes to you and say that, they think they're gay, or that they've been molested by Uncle Phil, or Aunt Titi touched them in the wrong places near the bathing suit.
This is real.
You're not going to feel uncomfortable because you're going to be like, Christy and Tiana just talked about that. Oh, my God, it really does happen.
Yep.
My coworker just said, oh, such and such, did drink too much, and the kids snuck off to a party, and they were a straight A student. It happens.
It happens.
Life happens, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about some random shit. We're going to cuss sometimes.
Oh yeah.
What else we going to do? I think you're going to paint.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna express myself and paint, and just put all my emotions out there. And I'm about if it's a bad moment, then I'll make it dark. If I'm feeling good, I add some bright colors to it. I just go off how I feel. You know.
Yes.
We're gonna keep it real though with y'all. We're gonna keep it real.
We're going to keep it real. We have an artist over here. So y'all get ready to see her artwork. It will be for sale. So she's going to paint live and then sell it or auction it off. Mm-hmm. So be ready for that for the new year.
Yes,
and we're here, people to people. We're here for you guys. People to people, power to power. Positive think people. You're right. Yes. Tiana and Christy.
Yes.
Girl Talk. Signing off. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned again on Monday where we have another guest with Rodney Grimes. Thank you.
All right. Good song. Woo. And we're done. It's like
we're done.
That was so
CDs
good.
Please wait. You